Black Label got me dancing in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner. Feeling amazing. Day 2. Alexa, turn it down. Day 2. Alexa, turn it down. Alexa, turn it down. So, Day 2 of Black Label 2.0. Dancing while I'm cooking dinner. I made homemade meatloaf, homemade mashed potatoes, made green beans. I think I'm gonna make some dessert, maybe brownies. Sounds delicious. And yes. Okay, say hi. Well, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Cece, say hi everybody.
Hi everybody. Yeah.
So, I'm enjoying Black Label 2.0. Like, I thought my Thrive experience couldn't get any better, but got me dancing a footloose while cooking. So, yeah, everyone's got to experience this. This is amazing. So if you haven't ordered your Black Label 2.0, get it today. I'm gonna go finish. Bye, guys.
Police tonight are canvassing a small town with a big mystery.
I'm worried for everybody.
Desperate for clues in the disappearance of 2 little girls, Celeste and Bella, ages 3 and 4.
Hey, everybody. Say hi.
And their mother, 34-year-old Shanann Watts, seen here in a recent Facebook post.
We are working around the clock on this case, and will not rest until we have the answers that we are looking for.
Shanann's husband, Chris, says before his family vanished, he and his wife had some words for each other.
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that.
Tuesday, August 14th, 2018. A 15-week pregnant Shanann Watts and her 2 children are officially announced missing, drawing the attention of the police, FBI, and gaining immediate national attention as the investigation began. All 3 entities beginning at full force, the search for Shanann, Celeste, and Bella was already nearing a climactic end. In this episode, we will take a look at the life of Shanann, the ambitious and eventual full-time homemaker whose love and dedication to family would be carelessly discarded by the man she loved and married. Under perpetual financial stress, lost in the dream of infinite cash flow through an MLM, and the struggles of fighting to keep an unfaithful husband, Shanann, her 2 daughters, and unborn child would tragically lose their lives when the man they trusted most suddenly snapped. In this, part 1 of the Watts family murders, with something criminal. This sad tale of shared narcissism, deceit, and eventual murder has been covered extensively across all media platforms. A recent event, much attention has been given to the extended news interviews, body cam footage, and police interrogation videos. This content alone could make an entire series with its many twists, turns, and transparencies. As I complete this episode for the second time, Netflix has announced their own interpretation of the events, which is to be released at the end of the month. Local to this platform, YouTube, greats the likes of Derek Van Schaik and JCS Criminal Psychology have both done outstanding multi-episode analyses of the infamous footage, their razor-sharp perception breaking down even the most minute of tells. I highly recommend their channels. In this 2-part series, I will do my best to tell the stories of Shanann and Chris before the murders, highlighting some of the infamous footage and the life of Christopher Watts in part 2. Thank you for your patience while I complete this saga.
You know, no matter what it is, you just have to love what you do. And I love what I do. I love it. I love the time freedom at the end of the day. So I'm kind of rambling. I don't even know if I'm making any sense at all. But that right there is why I opened continue what I do. I will continue fighting. I will continue not letting the haters get in my way. I will continue not letting people discourage me. I will continue not letting people judge me or what I do. I will continue not letting people influence my decisions on what I do in life. I will continue fighting for my children, for my husband, for myself. And nobody's going to hold me back from my future, my kids' future. No one's going to tell me what's the right way of living life, and no one's going to tell me what's what I should and shouldn't do for a job. Like, if I'm bringing in income and I'm taking care of my family, I'm being a better mom than I've ever been because I am here.
Shanann was born on January 1984 in Passaic, New Jersey, to parents Frank Razuchek and wife Sandra Onorati, who kept her last name after vows. Shanann and her younger brother Frankie came from humble beginnings, a family of hard-working contractors. They found a more stable lifestyle when they moved to Aberdeen, North Carolina, when Shanann was just a child. At a very early age, Shanann suffered from regular migraines, vertigo, anxiety, and a multitude of other life-stalling ailments. The doctors were at a loss as to what it could be for a number of years. Shanann suffered through the symptoms, desperate for an answer. Eventually, a diagnosis was made while in North Carolina. Shanann had lupus. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that occurs when your body attacks its own tissues and organs. She would begin treatment, a regimented medication schedule that, although costly, helped alleviate, but not eliminate symptoms. Shanann was in a constant state of distress, something she learned to mask effectively with her sweet smile and outgoing communal nature. Attending Pinecrest High School, Shanann was awkward and maybe a little nerdy. Extraordinarily organized to almost obsessive-compulsive extents, she liked to be in control. Things out of order gave her intense anxiety. Because of this, she was a natural scholar. Her drive to succeed was all-encompassing. Despite her natural good looks, she had those same insecurities we all felt while battling through our teenage years. That awkward outward confidence often betrayed the internal fears of emptiness and worth. While not unpopular, Shanann's focus was mainly on building the perfect life, driven at an early age towards the classic dream of a house in the country with a white picket fence. These ambitions faded, as they tend to do, once she graduated in 2003. Real life takes over, and you end up settling for that rundown mobile home, an empty fridge and cupboard full of Mr. Noodles, a job you're ashamed of, and all of it a fierce struggle to uphold. Things would change for Shanann around 2005, when she married her first husband, someone she knew since high school, Leonard King, a burgeoning lawyer in Moore County. It was a relatively short-lived marriage, one born from the pursuit of the American dream and lost to the pressures of the real world. When things began to sour between Leonard and Shanann, she poured herself into work, staying late and sometimes not coming home at all. She wouldn't call or text Leonard to let him know, and he was not overly concerned. Shanann was a fiercely independent thinker, and when she made a decision, it was usually final. I don't think either of them thought this was their forever story, and it was no surprise to anyone when they divorced in 2008. Shanann moved on, bought a house on her own in 2009, and was living a modest life, working as the manager of Dirty South Customs, a tire and wheel shop just outside Fayetteville, near Spring Lake. From time to time, Shanann would spend her days doing sales calls or delivering parts to other shops. The beautiful and outgoing parts girl caught the eye of every counter person, shop hand, and mechanic when she'd arrive. Her distinct good looks and curves in all the right places, Shanann was a bit of a mythical trophy quest in the industry. It wasn't all the flash and dazzle or quick-talking romance that would catch her attention, however. After her divorce, Shanann wasn't in the mindset for a relationship, battling a broken heart and her daily struggles with lupus. Her friends had tried to set her up a few times to break the spell, but she was oblivious. Until one Chris Watts sent her a friend request. She accepted, and the two hit it off instantly. Chris's agreeable nature was a perfect match for the often domineering and alpha-minded Shanann. There was a confidence in her direction, and Chris was keen to follow. On November 3rd, 2012, Shanann and Chris married in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. A classically perfect wedding spearheaded by Shanann. She could have been the epitome of bridezilla if it weren't for her pleasant way about things. For Shanann, the picture-perfect wedding was as much a bucket list as it was a matrimonial ceremony. The wedding wasn't without its hang-ups, however. Cindy Watts, Chris's mother, disapproved of Shanann, and being the alpha in the Watts family home, only Chris's grandmother and uncle attended the ceremony, Cindy putting her foot firmly on the ground in protest. Shanann's parents were much more agreeable. They saw a loving husband, a hard-working man with all the elements of a great father and caretaker for their daughter. The newlywed couple had dreams of moving elsewhere. They had been to the Centennial Estate in 2011 and loved it. They began building a house there almost immediately, and not soon after the wedding, it was complete. A beautiful property in a still bare but soon-to-be affluent subdivision in a quaint little town called Frederick, about 45 minutes north of Denver. The completion came at the perfect time, as Shanann would give birth to their first daughter, Bella, on December 17th, 2013. Both Shanann and Chris got jobs at a local Ford dealership, Longmont Ford, where Chris was a mechanic and Shanann worked in internet sales. They struggled through their mortgage and Shanann's medical bills for 2 years before Chris found a position as an operator at Anadarko, one of Colorado's biggest oil field companies. The financial boost was significant. Even as an entry-level employee, Chris's salary was over $60,000, more than enough with a combined income to support their growing debt. However, Shanann was pregnant once again and started working less. Their rich lifestyle was stripping away their savings, and when utility, medical, and mortgage bills began stacking up, credit cards started maxing, and in 2015, shortly before the birth of their second daughter, Celeste, they declared bankruptcy.
You want that? Come here. Want me to bring you that? Yeah. Want me to bring you Cece? Bring me Cece. Is that your sissy? Oh my gosh, Sandy. I can pick her up. Oh my gosh, she's so crying.
Ela wants to hold it.
Bella, maybe you over that way. Look at your sister. Oh, Bella. Look at that. Oh my gosh. What's that? Is that Cece? Say hi, Cece. Be nice, be nice. Okay. Hi, Cece. She's beautiful. Be nice. Be nice. What do you think of that? Is that your sissy? What do you think?
She looks shocked.
Say hi. That's your baby sister.
When Celeste was born, Shanann was forced to stay at home to care for her newborn, something she preferred anyways. She was fiercely protective over her children and was reportedly a great mother, cultivating the best parts of them. Like mother, like daughter, the children reportedly thrived in routine and felt intense anxiety if that was ever broken. As Celeste grew older and schedules between Shanann, Chris, and babysitters allowed for greater freedom, Shanann would find part-time work at a hospital call center. Bella and Celeste were delicate children, adorably innocent. Their strict routines may not have been self-imposed, but the girls felt comfort in the arms of devout consistency. Both girls suffered from health problems, asthma and allergies, not something ever doted on, more of a casual highlight through Shanann's online presence. A couple of hospital visits and the obligatory online updates. These small issues might have been amplified by Shanann and Chris's unwavering attention they gave to the girls. Both girls were the products of their parents, and adored them both dearly. The consistency of their lives cultivated a deep trust amongst them. Bella and Celeste never questioned the actions or direction given by either Shanann or Chris. Celeste was quiet, reserved mostly. She was a girl of wonder, curious and observant. She seemed to be fine wherever she was, as long as Bella was there too. Was louder, a vocal girl, she loved to laugh, a hearty room-filling laugh that seemed almost perpetual. She was a happy girl with boundless anticipation and joy for life. In those infant years with siblings so close in age, the inevitable bonds that form are the ones that usually last a lifetime. Unique and special, it's the kind of bond that transcends language. 2015 is also the year that Shanann began exploring ways to work from home. Not the first time she attempted to find her place amongst the ranks of an MLM or multi-level marketing firm. She found Lavelle. According to their website, Lavelle was created and envisioned with a greater purpose, a premium plan. Thrive markets to a very clear demographic, the boomer generation, and specifically stay-at-home moms, selling the dream of a lifestyle filled with mansions, lavish parties, free cars, and platters filled with money, and all done from the comfort of your home. Thrive products try to focus on a simple regimen as one of its key selling points. 2 pills in the morning, followed by a shake mix, apply the DFT patch, and you're done for the day. Like all multi-level marketing companies, only a handful of people at the apex of the downline ever experience the kind of success they advertise. The over-the-top parties, vacations, and free cars all come with a cost. Outside the gross perpetual personal and financial investments required right from the starting line, the gifts and rewards are rarely ever fully paid for. Reaching Tier 10 of 12 with Lavelle gains you a monetary award towards the lease of a company-approved vehicle. On the Thrive website, this is proudly announced with ambiguous requirements and qualifications. Digging deeper gives no further information on reaching and maintaining this goal. What is known but not advertised is dropping a tier also pulls the company funding, locking brand promoters into an endless cycle of product purchase and downlining. Social media becomes a second life for most promoters, an easy way to sell the premium lifestyle through clip-worthy moments at gatherings or at home showcasing their illusory perfect life in often uninspired and recycled quotes or mantras. The family of an MLM promoter generally becomes a part of the overall marketing scheme, if only by proxy at first. Usually, the husband or wife becomes the first recruit, doubling the financial commitment. Most people can see the predatory tactics from a mile away, the bait on the end of a very big hook that never leaves the water. However, the initial ease of downlining your closest friends and family and seeing immediate financial compensation for your efforts is kind of like a drug. From holding the first $10,000 check, the balloons and streamers that fall from the sky amidst the sea of high fives and congratulations from the very people you aspire to follow in the footsteps of, to the never-mentioned come down when the downlines are exhausted and fully exploited. A now unavoidable and unsustainable financial commitment to the pyramid and the gifts you earn becomes increasingly hard to uphold. The pyramid concept is simple. Shown visually, it becomes even more apparent. As the pyramid grows, it becomes both exponentially harder to grow the pyramid and make money. Mathematically, as each downline grows at a theoretical count of 5 recruits per person, by the time you reach the 15th tier, you would have exceeded the total number of people on planet Earth, requiring 30 billion people to complete that base. Truly, only the top handful of tiers ever make any money, while the people below that struggle to reach that same goal, something they will never attain and only succeed in funding the dreams of those above them in the pyramid. As the promoter struggles to keep their head above water, both financially and within the fantasy world they portray online, a common band-aid solution is to start stockpiling products themselves to maintain their tier. The MLM only counts your success on the products you purchase. Your sales are not necessarily a reflection of your overall income. The bigger your downline, the harder you work, and often for much less money. Your income is now dependent on the success of you and your exhausted network, many of which have likely begun to see the futility of their lower pyramid status and start to cut their losses. Thrive was Shanann's beast. She dove right in head first and truly embraced the lifestyle, with husband Chris becoming one of Shanann's first downlines. As with most recruits below the conception level, Shanann's first year was outstanding. Paraded around the company at conventions and award vacations for fellow tier members, qualifying for and driving away in a brand new Lexus, and gaining a conservative viral popularity within her growing social media circle. The products themselves would become a daily part of the Watts family life. Shanann found great relief from the symptoms of lupus using Thrive products, eventually letting go of all doctor-prescribed medications entirely in 2017. Chris began a weight loss program. Thrive's Force Lean regime coupled with regular and daily exercise. Despite the many claims Thrive products are simply a placebo, both Shanann and Chris seem to benefit from them. Now, also recovering from a car accident and forced to stay at home, Shanann has grown her social media presence to modest levels with her group of friends with Thrive. Vlogging every day, talking about things from the mundane to the expected Thrive marketing, her online image was slowly becoming a priority in the Watts household. Bella and Celeste were 2 unwitting children, exposed to the constant pandering to a screen on a daily basis. Much discussion has passed about the effect this may have had on them. In the long watch through the many videos of Shanann online, there were multiple moments when speculation seemed justified. The disinterest in the girls and hunger for attention more than apparent. 2018, and by all appearances, the Watts family is as strong as ever. Shanann's Facebook page is littered with countless professional quality family photos and smiling couple selfies that betrayed the growing stresses of their private life. Masked behind the pictures of happy Thrive-funded vacations, galas, and quality family time, Chris had slowly been backing away. Distant and unattached at times, this gradual change in personality was completely unlike his usual agreeable self. The two would begin to argue often, Chris denying anything was wrong. Shanann was certain otherwise. Both of them reaching for straws in their now crumbling home, they decided to try for another baby.
I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome.
The reaction was not what Shanann had hoped. Chris seemed unsure. Obvious concern started to overtake Shanann. Outwardly, she poured even more energy into her trademark quirks, becoming overly vocal about how great her home life was, despite the contrary. She began blindly exploiting her vision of the perfect home. The awkward air would almost become a part of their daily life. The desperate struggle to climb glass walls with dignity, traditionally, a true lost cause to all who try. June 19th, Shanann gets her first ultrasound, and Chris is overjoyed when they're told they are having a boy. They waste no time in deciding on a name: Nico. Feeling a renewed hope for their failing marriage, Shanann posts a picture of the ultrasound on Facebook, with the caption, "Best dad us girls could ask for." Sadly, the euphoria Chris and Shanann shared quickly dissipated into now familiar animosity. Chris had become strangely more vocal in the days following the ultrasound. Talks became unusual heated arguments. It seemed to Shanann that Chris was constantly trying to find excuses to leave the house. Amidst the chaos of their imminent separation and under extraordinary financial stress, in large part due to Thrive, the decision was made to sell their house. Much like the decision to try for another child, putting their house on the market was the second step towards either redemption or separation, and this time they both openly knew it. Things between them would get progressively worse over the next couple of months, until Shanann left for a planned 6-week vacation with the kids to North Carolina on June 27th, 2018. Chris would stay in Colorado, FaceTiming with Shanann and the kids almost every night. She would tell friends and family that sometimes he was present, and other times distant, almost as if he was paying attention to something or someone off-screen. More than once, she had called Chris and he didn't answer the entire night. A very real concern started to take hold of Shanann. As it is with everyone when this feeling creeps in, the forced smiles do little to hide the elephant in the room. She began to check more thoroughly what Chris had been up to, eventually discovering a debit transaction at a restaurant for $60. She confronts Chris about the bill, and he tells her it was from a few beers and dinner with some coworkers. Shanann eventually submits, but to her, Chris's story doesn't add up. Shanann and the kids split their time between the Rizuchak Onorati home and the Watts. The relationship between Shanann and the Watts family was thin at best. Cindy was notoriously protective over her son, and felt Shanann was not worthy of him in more ways than she could name. This didn't prevent Shanann from doing the right thing. She weathered the insults and condescending attitude for the kids. However, when Celeste was carelessly exposed to nuts while under Cindy and Ronnie's care, Shanann found her voice, scolding them and Chris for what she believed was deliberate disregard. Chris would arrive in North Carolina for the final week of the supposed vacation on July 31st. Shanann's concern grew as Chris was even more hot and cold, somewhat standoffish and ambivalent. As the days passed, she felt more and more isolated and alone, bordering on desperation. There is no doubt that Shanann felt if divorce was imminent, she went into fight mode, ready to do whatever it takes to rekindle the romance between them. Chris was an outstanding father, and when present, an incredible husband. Shanann was ready to change, if that's what was needed. She drafts a letter to Chris before leaving for a Thrive convention out of town, sending it to a friend to review. Still, mostly defeated, Shanann would cancel their planned gender reveal party. and her usual strong social media presence began to dwindle drastically. Sometimes she neglected to engage her audience at all. August 12th, Shanann and a few of her Thrive friends are out for dinner after the convention, waiting for their flights home. Strangely, the power goes out while they're preparing to leave. Shanann is keen and eager to get home and talk with Chris. A weekend with the girls filled her full of a confident independence, a sort of do-what's-right attitude. She had a renewed vigor in her step. We can make this work, she believed. Shanann and her best friend Nicole head to the airport for their flight home, care, only to find it's been delayed by 4 hours. Shanann messages Chris to let him know. 1:48 a.m., August 13th, Nicole drops Shanann off at home. They talk briefly in the car about meeting for Shanann's doctor's appointment the next morning, planning to go together. Careful to be quiet as the girls' bedrooms were above the garage and they were notoriously light sleepers. Shanann enters through the front door. Captured by the motion-sensing door cam, this is the last video known of Shanann alive. Thank you once again for watching or listening, and sticking with me through the growth of this channel. Completing these episodes has become increasingly harder as I pursue higher education. My panic at not meeting deadlines set for myself has been curbed by your kind comments and patience. Truly, thank you. Episode 3, Chris Watts Part 2, is in post-production and is very near completion. I don't intend on holding the episode back. When it's finished, hopefully later this week, I will publish it right away. Amazingly, my subscriber count keeps rising, and comments keep coming. Some of the insight given on past episodes is incredible, and I am constantly fascinated at the diversity of opinion presented there. I have a Patreon, admittedly something I have not given fair attention to. All of the Season 1 collected files are currently uploaded there and not behind a paywall. If you head on over and feel like spending a couple bucks, thank you. Your support is wholly appreciated. Incredibly, I now have 2 patrons, the second of which someone I know in real life, and one of the shockingly few people I know that actually watch and support my channel. A subscriber since day 1, Stephen Myers. It's a hard ask of anyone to part with their hard-earned dollars to support a very amateur documentarian on YouTube, especially in this day, where the world is held in perpetual grips of uncertainty. Thank you, Steve. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you in part 2 with the next episode of Something Criminal.
Tread softly, think twice before you really wanna cross me. Pay the price even though it's costly, cause I'm driven by the memories that haunt me. Motivated by the miseries that cut deep, at least I know the melody got me. Through dark times it's hard to see, stay wide awake cause they all asleep. Suffering in silence, trying to find a direction without any guidance. Patiently taking my time at the flow and the rhymes to make sure that it's timeless. A rough diamond in this tough climate, steering life without driver's license. Crashing down just to get back up, I don't give a fuck, I just keep on climbing. Can't afford to play it safe, gotta risk it working hard. Get aboard when we're halfway, gotta finish what we start. Press record and let it play, let the words express my thoughts. The rewards will be great when my flaws are overcome. Sleep depriving, up late nights till the sun is rising. Keep on striving, unpaid grind is the proper pricing. Keep surviving, upgrade life is what I'm aspiring. Head up high, gotta get what's mine, gotta realize it. leveling. Keep it level-headed, let it settle in, let it manifest. Never let the devil ever meddle in. I ain't heaven sent, I just have a sense. Keep on meddling with my inner self. Feel tend to pretend I was someone else. Keep your head up and supply by yourself. Don't let anybody out to tell you else, cause it ain't no help. Had enough of being quiet. Put myself in a different space and I focused on this writing. Took care of self and my mental state as my hope was close to dying. Couldn't bear it well and to look away, so approach with open eyes. And now I'm back on track, let the music speak. Slept on yet this a lucid dream. Back to back rapping fluently. Max the stats and improve the speed. Matter of fact, this is too extreme. That connect is cool to me. Face the facts, this ain't new to me. I'ma represent, do it truthfully.